guys for joining us. Coach,
this was always going to be a very, very tough match, because not only the fact that it's a derby, I think you all know each situation of each coach, the league positions of each team, having to work with the players to try and build that confidence and that morale in training leading up to the game. So a lot of pressure on the players, a lot of pressure on everyone, even the club owners, about this game today. I think our planning and our preparation was solid, even though we warned the players that they're going to look to try and purely hit you on the counter when you lose the ball. Very important, our counter press, when that happens, don't allow them to play the direct ball, the early ball. Look to force them into another pass. And unfortunately, we concede that early goal. But I think, we've been in this situation where we've come back before. And I think the players went to that. We responded well. I actually thought we had 2 handball shouts in the first half, not only the one. And I felt once we got that equalizer, we would now turn the game around and we would control it a lot better. First half, the main concern that I had is that they were laying those traps through the middle, and we were still continuously looking to play those balls. And we allowed them the opportunity of creating 1 or 2 difficult situations for us. We looked to fix that at halftime, and the response was good. We needed to stretch them a lot more. The goals come from the wide areas. So sometimes it may look obvious, and I say use the width, but that's what we needed to do, because they knew our threat was through the middle. And once we started to do that, we opened them up, and we could have ended up winning this very, very comfortably, even though we did get the 3 goals. But I thought we could have got a 4th or even possibly a 5th, So great response from the players, the work ethic. Today, they showed the fight and the desire, which they needed to show, especially against a team of this nature. We play them quite often in friendlies pre-season. And what tends to happen is you drop your level, and we spoke about the importance of that not happening today. We need to maintain our level, and even if their level's down here, we don't care. This is our level. You either come up to us or we smash it. And that was the logic that we showed today.
Okay, Coach, take some questions.
Just to speak about maintaining the level, are you happy with performance today?
Yeah, I think so. It's just like I said, in that first half, we started forcing through the middle too much, which obviously then put Zapata under a lot of pressure, and he gave the ball away very, very cheaply, and he was struggling really to get himself into the game. And I felt, I needed to bring someone who's a little bit sharper in the small spaces, sees things a little bit quicker in Kutumela. But once we started using the width a lot better, Jaden, first half, I felt he could have hurt Nazir Ali a little bit more in 1v1 situations, but he started a little bit jittery. But as the game evolved, he got better, especially when I switched him from the left-hand side, our left-hand side, to the right-hand side. And the same with Darwin, because, like I said, we needed to play with the width. So it wasn't about the wingers cutting in, it was about getting out wide, putting in the cross. And Darwin has a natural left foot. In fact, he's both-footed, so he can play either side. And Jaden is normally right-foot. He doesn't really like using his left. So, I thought everybody responded really, really well. A lot more aggression from Mayo, a lot more of those runs in behind. He had 2 or 3 runs in behind where a little bit of more composure. Possibly he could have created better scoring chances than what he had.
Just on a different theme, Eric, no penalties last season. Now you finally get one. What was that like? And secondly, did you feel last season that Just in summation of the campaign, did you deserve a penalty somewhere along the line? Or was it just one of those freak things where there was never really an opportunity?
No, I think last season I can remember 2 or 3 situations where we deserved a penalty. When we go, not only in the PSL, we deserved one against Algiers. That was clear as daylight, and that never happened. But I do remember, 2 or 3 situations in the league itself where I felt we deserved, but it wasn't for any handball incident. It was more contact inside the box. Tonight, like I said, there was one prior to the one he gave that I felt should have been a penalty as well, even though, yes, it came off his head, but his hand wasn't in the natural position. Came off his head, then he used his arm, so I felt that should have been a penalty. And then I watched, obviously, when I came out. It was definitely a handball, was definitely a penalty, the one we did get. But yeah, the standard, I think, has to get better. I keep saying it. And the handball rule, I think we're all bemused by it. I don't think anybody understands the new handball rule. I'm still baffled how it works.
Okay. Coach, moving obviously into the right side of the table now. It's been a long couple of 2 months. I mean, from those first two weeks in August. Just how much of a relief has this result brought for you and the team, and how much can you build on it now? I mean, I think in the last 2 seasons you've also had these starts.
Yeah, but I don't look at the table like you guys look at the table. You guys look at the table, you're sitting in 13th position. I look at the table, okay, where am I? I'm sitting 13th, but I win today, I'm top 8. And I win next week, I'm 2nd. Well, I'm 1 point away from 2nd. So if I just look at the table and say, oh shit, we're sitting in 13th, then I'm not being realistic, I look at the league table and I say, but Jesus, we're not far off. That's how I assess it. And I say, one more win, yeah. You jump the table, all the pressure's released, the sensationalism, leave it to you guys, don't get involved, and move on.
Coach, in terms of efficiency and just
efficiency.
Let me finish, coach. Just in terms of their efficiency, is there a better duo in terms of, when you look at their ages than Jaden and Huleman, like in what they offer you and just how they've done from what you expect of them?
Yeah, I think it's important to have a blend of youth and experience. If you just go with youth, they lack the knowledge, they lack the game management side of the game, and the older players can help them, So I use us as an example with Mark Van Heerden, who's a key player, Tamiam Kize, key player in our squad, because they create that balance, But I think it's also important to recognize when one of your senior players can still carry the team on the pitch. And I've done that actually with Vincent Kabola in the first season as an example. Where I still believe that Vincent was an important member of the squad. But I didn't use Vincent as often as I did, purely because I knew lasting 90 minutes wouldn't be an easy task for him, and especially the way our league is set up of late. You play every 3 days. It's not easy. And you've got to have a good blend. And I think possibly them. I don't like talking about other teams, and I feel for Sean. I really, really feel for Sean. But I think they needed to bring in a little bit of more youth and. When I say youth, someone 25, 26, 27 with a bit more experience to help Sean, because I think he's a good coach.